Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you guys a trend trading strategy that works on any currency pair. So how I'm going to break this down is we're going to focus on one of my personal pairs that I trade, which is AUD USD, but then we're also going to focus on the Australian dollar based currency pairs. So let's break down the word strategy for just a quick second, especially if you're new to the Forex market or you've been struggling with your strategy or a strategy that you're learning. Strategy just basically means the way you plan to execute or to implement, right? So when it comes to the strategy, you have to break down what the strategy is, what it involves, way before you can get into how you want to enter the trade. So for my trend trading strategy, I'm focusing on trends, meaning I need to focus on currency pairs that are trending. Because if a currency pair is not trending, that is one for that week or that day I would not focus on. So you have to understand once again what it is that you plan on executing and how you're executing and the conditions that you're looking for. My condition is trend. It needs to be trending, not counter trending, not consolidating, or ranging, because that's another word, but actually moving in a constant uptrend or a downtrend, and I can actually see it. With that being said, my personal trend trading strategy is called TMP. So we'll get into the rest of them, but for now, let's start with T. We need to make sure that the currency pair is trending. So when we look here on the Australian dollar, United States dollar, we can see that there is a trend. We can see that there was a higher high here at 0.72777, a higher low at 0.71304, and then a higher high at 0.73141. Now, I want you guys to focus on the time frame that I'm using. If you've been with me for quite some time here on YouTube or my Instagram, you know what time frame I start at, the daily time frame. This is where I get my trend from, and yes, I also do enter on this time frame as well. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at my high peaks and low peaks only. I'm looking at the most extreme price action candlesticks by their wicks. The highest wicks, the lowest wicks. The highest wicks, the lowest wicks, the highest wicks, the lowest wicks before price push down or price push up, okay? So this is a trade that I took last week here. It was actually on a Monday. This is a Friday candlestick. I don't particularly trade on Fridays. So I was able to enter this trade on the 4-hour time frame, somewhere in this area here on the 4-hour, and I was able to make a really good profit on this trade. So I had a really nice flow of pips on this one pair. And so I was trading back up to the high here at 0.72777, but now we made a new higher high. But here was the conditions met before price actually went up. Price was trending, okay? Price went up from 0.70823 up to 0.7227277, and it proved that it could stay above 0.70823. Now, if you watch my YouTube videos from last week, this is an area I was telling you guys I'm anticipating price to get back to, and it did, and that provided a nice move to the upside. Now we are still trending. So let's go into how this strategy can work this week, especially if price can stay above 0.71304. Now, what I want to tell you guys is these are trades that I also like to scout out in my coaching program with my students. One of the reasons because is I like to stay ahead of the market on Sundays, right? That's when I do most of my analysis on Sundays, right before the market opens. And then we come together and we just look at a few currency pairs that have the best potential. Not all currency pairs, because we're not there to waste each other time, but we want to see if we have opportunities for the week ahead. So if you always stay ready, you never really have to get ready. But this is one of the ones that I do plan on talking about in my coaching program with my students. So here's why. Once again, we made a new higher high here. So I'm going to bring out my template to make it easier for me to keep up with. So y'all see it says HH for higher high. Now 0.71304 is my new higher low. So we're going to put that on here as well. You see HL for higher low. That way I know the range I'm looking at dealing with, right? I don't want price to go past 0.71304, because if price just made a new higher high, that means that the buyers have control at this moment. We don't want to sell against them. We're not looking for a sale unless price passes that one number. Not the structure, but the number. So that's the trend. It's up. We have a higher high, higher low. That's the T. We're trending. Now we're going to go into the M, which is market structure. where do I plan to enter my trade? Okay, so I have my zone here. It's based on my higher low candlestick, and price can come and test anywhere between 0.71880 and 0.71304, where I don't want price to go nor touch. So this is a full range where I'm going to be looking for one of my 4 candlesticks that I look to enter a trade, right? Via the rejection candlestick, the bullish engulfing, the spinning bottom, or doji plus one of those 3 candlestick categories that I just named, right? And if I get that bullish information this week, you guys, I'm going to be trading back up to 0.73141. But here's the thing, price has to touch the zone. That's the market structure. That's the M for TM. And then P is price action. Naming one of those candlesticks that I just gave you guys, that tells me that I can enter the trade off of one of those candlesticks. So once those next 2 terms or conditions are met within my strategy, then I am going to have a trading strategy with all my rules that are met, TMP, okay? So with that being said, the first condition is met. Price is trending. Without that, the strategy is not in play, right? So that's what I want you guys to remember. The first part of your strategy must be in play. Whether you were a trend line trader, if you're a trend line trader, price has to be trending. You need 2 highs and 2 lows in order to connect it. If you're a support and resistance trader, price has to be touching one area of the price chart, hitting it back and forth, becoming support, resistance, or support, turning into resistance, or resistance, turning into support before you can even plot that line or plot that zone. It doesn't matter what type of trader you are, your foundation is the first part of your trading strategy. What's the starting point, and is it being met? This thing is trending, so it's being met. So let's go to another currency pair. It's going to be Australian dollar CAD, and let's see if the condition is being met for trend. So right here, I want you guys to notice what's going on in the market over here, okay? So with this one, I see my extreme high. I'm not going to count this as a low area just right now. We need to kind of see what's been going on. So I'm going to have to go a little bit to the left to see if this can count. So just going to the left, I'm just going to start from up here. We have a point that was high. So that was a daily high. Then price pulled back just a bit to create a low. So we have a daily higher low. And notice how I'm doing everything per the wicks, you guys. I don't really so much care for the candle bodies because the wicks are important to me, because those are still candles or buyers and sellers on lower time frames. I'm looking for the highest and lowest wicks of the fluctuations. So we had a higher high here. So now we're getting somewhere. So now that I see that we actually had a higher high, higher low, higher high, now I can see that we're actually trending down. So we had a daily lower low because price passed a higher low. So daily lower low, daily lower high. So I'm going to name that. Now we're trending down. So I understand that we are trending down, but now because we're trending down and where price actually is at the moment, this is our last lower high here. Okay. Walking you guys through this with me, what you guys are going to notice is that price is actually in a downtrend, and she has beautiful volatility right now. So one of 2 things can happen because she's almost down here at this low. And let me change that. There we go. I don't know why I won't change the LL. So we're just going to put that in ourselves. There we go. So now that she's almost down here at the lower low, one of 2 things can be true. Today when the market opens, or sometime this week tomorrow, price could actually pass the lower low and continue down, making this our lower high, or price could pull back towards 0.92405, and if she stays below, we could be in a sell. So she is trending, yes, but now this is where if you trade this particular currency pair, you're going to want to wait and look to see what she does. If she makes a new lower low, this is your new lower high, now you have a quicker opportunity. But if she has to pull back, if she doesn't pass 9031381, now you have a deeper retracement that you have to look out for in order for price to stay below 0.92405. And that's where you're going to put your structure wherever you believe that she's going to get to. And that's where you're going to wait in order for price action to give you permission to enter. So it's this one that if I were trading this pair, I would keep a tab on. Yes, I actually would. And see, for me, with mine, because AUD, USD, and pound GPY are the main ones that I trade, I'm going to mark her off pink just for right now, because I'm going to want to watch her on the daily, not so much the 4 hour today, but just to see what she's going to be doing tomorrow at her closure. Okay, so this is one that I would say the trend trading strategy could work because she's actually trending. Let's go to AUD Swiss. Now, AUD Swiss, this is a really good one. Okay, now I want you guys to pay attention. If I were to ask you what's going on with this currency pair at this moment, what would you say? What is her condition? Is she trending? Is she ranging, or AKA consolidating? Most of you guys would probably say consolidating, but I'm going to challenge you to look a little bit closer. What I would say is use the price note tool on TradingView. It's a really beautiful feature. So if I were to just put this on at the extreme high from over here, daily higher high, and then we had a daily higher low, and last week, Thursday, price actually made a new higher high. I would actually say this is actually in an uptrend. This one is trending. So because she's trending and now she's pulling back, this is when you're going to scout out where you want to potentially enter her. So I want to see if she can stay above the last higher low here, because we had a higher high. We have a new higher high that makes this a higher low. If she can stay above 0.65372. And if she does, you could have a potential buying setup because she is trending up. She is now touching structure. This is my zone. Your zone may be different, but whatever you trade, you know, she could be touching it. And now we're just waiting for price action to see if you could get permission, or even if I trade this, I can get permission to enter the trade back up to the upside to 0.66800. Okay, so TMP, is the currency pair trending? Yes or no? Don't just look at the candles and say, oh, well, price just went straight across. What are the high and lowest wicks telling you as the market is fluctuating up and down, up and down, up and down? That is what you want to pay attention to, okay? And once you can answer the question if she's trending up or down, and you can actually say that out of your mouth, then you're going to go to the next step. Where do you want to enter the trade? That's where you put your structure, and then you just wait for price action to give you a beautiful entry. Okay, so I hope that this helps you, because this is a trend trading strategy that can actually work on any currency pair. So make sure this week you guys tune in to the YouTube channel and on my Instagram, because I have some beautiful reels that will be coming up for you guys to watch to get more tips. So if you're interested in learning from me privately one-on-one, you say, Shaquan, I've got courses. They're cool, but I need someone to walk me step by step, just like you did with these 3 steps that you're using. You guys can book a discovery call with me below, or you can actually join my coaching program. So I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys go off, have a safe trading week, and be blessed.